All right, we are live here with the Black Motivation broadcast with I Love You Truly and King Russell of King Russell Entertainment. Y'all, we
Here.
are in the building,
That's
okay?
right. That's right.
And we are so very excited to have you guys on the Black Motivation broadcast this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
For sure. So, in normal fashion, shall we? We're going to hop straight into this interview. So, as the record label founder of King Russell Entertainment, the first Southern Soul record label with Sony and Universal Music Distribution, you have accomplished a lot, a ton throughout your career. Okay. So, what do you feel like have been the keys to your success?
Um, my number one thing has been God and determination,
Yeah.
and just wanting to be able to give my gift back, and
Mhm.
be able to help other people as
Yeah.
well.
For sure, for sure. It's very, very important. And I want to thank everyone who's tuning in with us. Khadijah Oliver is in the building. Hey, Khadijah. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to everyone who's joining us on this broadcast. So, what made you want to start King Russell Entertainment?
Well, I had a vision some years ago
Mm-hmm.
because I've been doing music all my life. I've been a
Right.
musician. Um, so I always like to create music, and
Mm-hmm.
I always found myself, I listened to other people's music, but I always had, music in my head, and I had my own vibe. So doing that, it pushed me towards to be able to create music and write for other people.
Right.
So I feel like through my journey, it was time for me now to be able to put this together and have a record label and be strong in the distribution and the things that you need to be successful in the music business.
So exciting. And I, for one, am very proud of all that you've accomplished, all your accomplishments. You know, it's a big deal and it's amazing. And I want everyone to know about it, which is why we are featuring you this evening. So, looking back, what have been some of the highlights of your career? Let's talk a little bit about your career as a whole.
Well, my career as a whole, man, I started playing music when I was about 7,
Hey.
and yeah, and it started from the church with me. My dad was a gospel singer,
Okay.
and we had man, I was all over the world at a young age,
Hmm.
so it inspired me, and I felt like this is what I needed to be doing,
Hmm.
for the rest of my life. So
Right.
so my dad expired me, and then I had other mentors as
Hmm.
I crossed over to R&B and Southern soul
Right.
music, blues. I had a lot of people that that's are legends now in the
Hmm.
soul business that
Hmm.
I was able to be mentored by. Had a
Right.
guy named Carl Marshall. He
Hmm.
was a big soul singer and a jazz musician, uh,
Awesome.
and he's from New Orleans, Louisiana. So it took me from him to guys like Jeff Floyd,
Hmm.
what I'm saying, Reggie P, Sir Charles Jones. It just, the soul market, man. I was able to capture it and, work with these guys.
Right.
And they inspired me to do what I'm doing right now.
So exciting. And so, who you mentioned a lot of some of the influences, some of the people who, have been behind you, some of your mentors. How do you define Southern soul music, and what do you feel are the key ingredients to a record or album in the genre?
Southern soul music is based on a lot of things, man. It's a mixture, man. It's like
Mm.
it's got you can feel some church music, gospel music, blues, R&B, and hip hop. Now we are in the Southern soul market is now bringing in hip hop, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that it's all everything is kind of in a nutshell here in the Southern soul music.
Mm-hmm. So, what are some of your favorite albums that you feel typify what you're looking for when you hear an album that you want, or a sound that you want to sign?
Uh, Calvin Richardson.
Hey, I love Calvin Richards music.
Yeah, he was, you know, I love Calvin's music, man.
Mm,
You know, Sir Charles Jones.
mm,
You know, the list goes on, man. You know, it's a lot of guys that inspired me to do what I'm doing
mm.
towards music and, you know, in the Southern Soul market.
So let's talk about some other genres. You mentioned jazz, you mentioned blues. So who are some of your favorite musical artists, either past or present in those genres?
Oh man, I was a big fan of Muddy Waters. You
Yes.
know, I don't know if y'all watched that movie Cadillac Records, but
Yes.
yeah, that was real, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and back then you got to look at it. You know, they didn't have hip hop. That was like
Right.
the only music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's been around a long time. I don't think it's ever going to go anywhere. You know, that's I feel like that's where a lot of music is founded through the soul music,
Right.
blues, you know, jazz would be I have man, jazz. I love jazz music, and
Mm.
I got a lot of people that inspire me that you know what I'm saying that I like. Uh, but I have to, you know what I'm saying. My best would be George Benson.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I was really I play a little guitar, so I love George
Nice.
Benson, man. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And so let's talk about now that we're talking about Southern Soul and we're kind of like, in that space, let's talk about a huge endeavor and super big deal that we mentioned earlier that you have coming up this weekend, which is the first annual Southern Soul Awards, which I will be present for and attending and covering. So,
Yes.
what was the emphasis behind starting it and what can we expect?
Well, my thing was I wanted to bring, you know, the whole industry, you know, to Meridian where we founded at, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and you know, by us having the outlets with Universal and Sony, because like I said, you know, in our genre of music, they don't have those outlets.
Right.
So this was kind of like bringing everybody together, and you know, we wanted to award the people that's not getting a whole lot of recognition, and we also
Right.
wanted to award the guys that have made it, but they never got recognized. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's you know it's like bringing it back, you know, giving it back to the market, and you
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying, and thanking people for what they have done to the market.
So amazing, so amazing. And I'm so very excited and honored that I'm going to be able to be a part in covering it. So I wanted to say a very public thank you for that as well. So let's talk about, King Russell Entertainment. When selecting artists to work with, what are some things that you consider are red flags? And what are some things that you consider are green lights for you?
Well, motivation is always a green light for me. If
Mm.
you got an artist that's motivated to write music and stay on his craft, and you know what I'm saying, and work like a lot of artists, they want to come to a situation because the music game ain't like it used to be.
Right.
When you know you got to have a little bit of grind about yourself now. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Nobody, no record company, they don't want to see nobody that you know have not taken the first step to you
Mm-hmm.
know going in the studio,
Right.
registering your music. You
Yeah.
know, so you know we want to try to you know be motivated over here at King Russell Entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And so with motivation, that's kind of like two sides of the coin, right? If you are motivated, that's a green light. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not, that's a red flag. So let's talk about some King Russell Q&A, some King Russell fun facts. So what are some of your favorite Black movies and what are some of your favorite Black TV shows? Because we're blackety black here at the Black Motivation Broadcast. So what are some of your favorites?
You know, I have to give it out to my guy Tyler Perry, man. He's a
Yes.
hardworking brother. You know what I'm saying? He has done something in the movie game that nobody has. You know, being black.
Mhm.
So, you know, he's a very powerful brother, man. You know, so I would have to go with Tyler Perry. You
Okay.
know, being you know some of his movies.
All right. And the TV shows the same, like some of his TV shows you would say you watch as well?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, awesome. And so what's next up? So going beyond the 7 solo words, what's next up for you and for your label?
Well, I have, I want to do music in general. You know what I mean? I just not, want to be Southern Soul. Like I really have a plan to bring a positive movement to the hip hop industry as well.
Yeah.
And my goal is to make sure that happen. I have right here a young man who's man, I love him like a son, who has worked hard, and so I was able to give him his own situation underneath King Russell, and we just joined forces, and I want to be able to be a mentor not
Right.
only to that, because I look at the music industry as a whole, and black people, we, what I'm saying, the hip hop industry, what I'm saying, it's mostly us. So, with all of this shooting going on and stuff
Right.
that's happening, man, we want to try to change that.
Mhm.
I do as a label owner.
Mhm.
So if we, as adults, man, guys that's doing Southern Soul and stuff too, we gotta guide the youngsters. We
Right.
can't let them. We can't let them be out here, with the violence and stuff. We gotta try to change it. So
Yeah.
that's where King Russell Entertainment is very focused on. I want to make sure that goes. I take this young man out on with me on every show because I wanted him to see, music. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? The music industry, what I do is old school, it's been around a long time, but it'll be able to help him,
Yeah.
on other situations that he has going down the road for death rows. And
Right.
so it's been a pleasure, it's been a blessing. And to see this movement, man, to see him at work. I've been having him in the studio to learn how to record live music, and
Hey.
it's, hey man, and it's so amazing to see him being young. And
Mhm.
it's like I remember when I used to be back in the studio with my daddy and
Right.
Mr. Marshall. A lot of stuff was, we had to do back then.
Mhm.
It wasn't no computers. They did stuff by the big boards and
Right. Yeah.
I mean the old way.
Right.
And to see, for me to be able to see that situation
Mm,
happen,
that's so cool.
and I get in the studio with him and he
Mhm.
mixes some soul music or we making a track, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying, to see him just get on the computer and do stuff so fast, it blow my mind, you
Yes.
know, because that's the younger generation, and
Right.
they got it more easier now.
Mhm. Of
So,
course.
but me being able to teach him some things and other old ways and tricks and stuff, man, it's been a blessing, and it's been wonderful working with this young man.
So awesome. And I want to thank you both for joining us this evening. So, unfortunately, though, we have come to the end of this week's episode. But I want to thank you and extend a gracious thank you for joining us, both of you, on this
Thank
week's
you.
episode. It's been a very special episode. And I want everyone tuning in to hear these words that are coming out of this man's mouth and then go like, share, follow, and subscribe everywhere he says that he is. Okay? So, let us know. So, what are some words of motivation you would like to leave our audience with on this week's episode?
Oh man, I tell everybody, man, keep God first. Whatever dream you got in your life, keep pushing, and it'll happen for you.
Hey, so exciting. And so, how can we find and support you on social media and the web?
Hey, you see it all right here.
Oh.
Here it is.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, y'all,
Download Loom. Download Loom Music. It's a new streaming platform. It's crazy.
talk about it. Talk about it.
Well, they dropped it. It's from Madison. It's established out of Madison, Wisconsin. Um, it's a new streaming platform. They just partnered up with Neo.
Okay.
And they're also trying to bring a positive movement to the industry and give more independence to artists like myself and King Russell.
Mm-hmm.
They got it's called virtual notes. It's like a little currency. Every note is worth a stream. Um, on Spotify or Apple Music, and your fans are able to gift you notes directly. You know, like from like 50 to 4,000, and you can cash out at like 20,000, and it's like $100, and it's pretty good. I've made a few thousand off this app already.
Hey, talk about it. That's
so download that, get that. It's free in the App Store. They just dropped on Android, and they just dropped their web platform too, loom.fm.
So if you are tuning in with us for the first time, this is something that you need to know about, okay? You need to go to the App Store, download Loom, and support these artists. Because without your support, you know, without you tuning in, without you listening, without you, you know, sharing, subscribing, all of that, you know, the artist and I are nothing. So to find me or the Black Motivation Broadcast, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Black Truth Media. You can locate the Black Motivation Broadcast. So this has been an awesome, really special episode. And I want to thank you both again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we are out, guys.